one for me. One for you. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. بنيات مولد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. And from the blessings of the birth of Sayyidina Zainab salam, Sayyidina Zainal Abidin salam, that Allah dress us from their lights, bless us from their lights, and keep us at their holy feet on these holy nights, inshaAllah, Ya Rabbi. Ya Rabbi, just like the candle. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ومولانا محمد المصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم. بمددكم ونظركم سيدي يا رسول الكريم يا حبيب العظيم وجهاننا واشفانا وانزلنا مددكم ونظركم. مدد يا سيدي يا سلطان الروج مشغل بفيض الدارستاني. مدد يا سيدي يا سلطان العرش محمد ناصر الحقاني. مدد يا سلطان القلوب مولانا الشيخ الشام كمالي. مدد الحق حجة الله المخلص. مدد يا شيخ أكرم. مدد يا شيخ محمد عادل. بمددكم ونظركم وجهالنا وإشفانا واردين بمددكم ونظركم إن شاء الله تعالى. هذا المجلس يا رب العرش العظيم. اللهم صل وسلم على نبينا محمد عليه السلام. صلاة تدوم
من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا فتحنا لك فتحا مبينا ليغفر لك الله ما تقدم من ذنبك وما تأخر ويتم نعمته عليك ويهديك صراطا مستقيما وينصرك الله نصرا عزيزا. لقد جاءكم رسول من أنفسكم عزيز عليه ما عنتم حريص عليكم بالمؤمنين رؤوف رحيم. فإن تولوا فقل حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الفاتحة لنا ولكم يا قادرون ووالدنا ووالدكم وأهلنا وأولادنا ولمشايخنا ولمن حضرنا ولمن غاب عنا ولأهلنا ولأموالنا أمهاتنا وللمؤذنين على هذا المجلس ولمن كان سببا في جميعنا، بأن الله الكريم ينور القلوب ويغفر الذنوب ويستر العيوب ويحفظنا بما حفظ به الذكر وينصرنا بما نصر به الرسول، وأن الله الكريم يجعل مجلسنا هذا محاطنا بالخيرات والمسرات والأنوار والبركات ويفتننا جميع الحاجات بجاه خير البريات، وأن الله ينصر المسلمين، وأن ينصر الله الكريم ينصر سلطان الأولياء مولانا الشيخ محمد ناظم عادل الأقاني قدس الله سره بجاه خير الأنام، وعلى كل نية صالحة مع حسن الخاتمة عند الموت بعد العمر الذي في طاعتنا وإلى حضرة النبي.
بسر سورة الفاتحة.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أنت سلطاننا يا ربنا، اغفر لنا وارحمنا وتب علينا وزد حبيبك سيد الأولين والآخرين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، زده يا ربي عزا وشرافا ونورا وسرورا وسلطانا ورضوانا وما يمحي الشيطان ومن تبعه. عباد الله رجال الله أغيثونا بأهل الله وكونوا عوننا في الله وسنعطى بفضل الله، ويا أقطاب ويا أنجاب ويا سادات ويا أحباب وأنتم يا أولي الألباب تعالوا وانصروا لله. عباد الله رجال الله أغيثونا بأهل الله وكونوا عوننا شيخ ناصر مدد يا شيخ هشام مدد يا شيخ عدنان مدد يا شيخ عادل مدد 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 يا سيدي مدد 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 يا رسول الله مدد يا صاحب الوقت مدد يا فرقاني مدد يا صديقون مدد يا يمني مدد يا إمام العارفين مدد يا سخاوي مدد يا مرد برهان مدد يا غفرانا مدد 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 يا سيدي مدد 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 يا رسول الله مدد يا إمام مهدي مدد يا خليفة الله مدد يا إمام مهدي مدد يا خليفة الله مدد 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 يا سيدي مدد 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 يا رسول الله.
اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله. إن شاء الله page 17.
يا رب صل على محمد يا رب صل عليه وسلم يا رب صل على محمد يا رب صل عليه وسلم يا رب بارك الوسيله السعادة يا ربي واصلي
وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله. Inshallah, page 19.
يا رسول الله سلام عليك يا رفيع الشان والدرج يا فتى الياجي رب العالمين يا معين الجود والكرم نحن من قوم به سكنوا وبه من خوفه امنوا وبآيات القرآن يلوا فتحل فينا أغلواني يا رسول الله سلام عليك يا رفيع الشان والدرج يا فتى الياجي فتى العالمين خير الجود والكرم كل بعثها وتعرفنا وسبا والبيت يعرفنا ولما المال وخيف ملا فلمن هذا وكن ركني يا رسول الله سلام عليك يا رفيع الشان والدرج يا فتى الياجي فتى العالمين يا خير الجود والكرم ولنا خير البنات أبو وعلي المرتدى حسب وإلى سبطين ننتصب نسبا ما فيه من دخن يا رسول الله سلام عليك يا رفيع الشان والدرج يا فتى الياجي فتى العالمين يا خير الجود والكرم ما من بعده خلقوا سادة بذا عرفوا ولهذا الوصف قد وصفوا من قديم الدهر والزمن يا رسول الله سلام عليك يا رفيع الشان والدرج يا فتى الياجي فتى العالمين يا خير الجود والكرم مثل زين العابد العلي الباقي خير ولي والإمام الصادق الحفل وعلي ذي الأولى اليقين يا رسول الله سلام عليك يا رفيع الشان والدرج فتى يا جيرة العالم يا خير الجود والكرم وهم القوم الذين علوا وبفضل الله قد سعدوا ولغير الله ما قصدوا ومن قرآن في القرآن يا رسول الله سلام عليك يا رفيع الشان والدرج يا فتى الياجي رة العلم يا خير الجود والكرم أهل بيت المصطفى توريخ مماد الأرض فاذكرين بالأنجم زهري ما قد جاء في السنن يا رسول الله سلام عليك يا رفيع الشان والدرج يا فتى الياجي رة العلم يا خير الجود والكرم وسفين للنجاة إذا من طوفان كل أذى فانجو فيها لا تكون كذا واستغفر الله واستعين يا رسول الله سلام عليك يا رفيع الشان والدرج فتى يا جيرة العالم يا خير الجود والكرم ربي فانفعنا ببركتهم واهدنا الحسنى بحرمتهم وأمتنا في طريقتهم ومعافاتهم من الفتن يا رسول الله سلام عليك يا رفيع الشان والدرج يا فتى الياجي رة العلم يا خير الجود والكرم.
Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik alayhi wa ali. Inshallah, Allah Azza wa Jalla open for us our own unique paradise in which you enter in your heart beatific gardens of Allah Azza wa Jalla's Divinely love, and that you seek refuge in your heart from every type of tribulation and difficulty. That our training is that through this difficult dunya, train yourself to close your eyes If you close your eyes, Allah will open your spiritual eyes. Your spiritual eyes are what are needed in the days that are coming for dunya and is everything for akhirah. Allah says, if you're blind here, you'll be blind there. Means the time for growing ended. There's not going to be a growing in the akhirah. Allah gave us these two eyes to surrender them. Close the eyes, go within your heart and see what type of garden and paradise Allah has put in store for the believer within their heart. The beatific fragrances, the immense love, the beatific light, all within the heart of the believer, the house of Allah. Enter Allah's house, not only your own house. And they showed a movie recently, I don't know if people really understood, it's spiritual, is the bird cage. That Dajjal enter upon the earth and everybody who sees that satanic light, the reality of what exists within their heart, they run to it. Because now the devils are only by waswas, whispering. But when they begin to make their appearance upon this earth, they push into the heart of a person what they really are and what they really desire, what they really want, what their real characteristic, and most of them go to destroy completely themselves. Except who? People of Basira, Ahlul Basira. We won't ruin the movie for you, but it's not important to what your eyes see. And at that time of difficulty they had to imitate the closing of their eye, and Allah warning, why you don't do that now before that difficulty, so you don't have to walk around with scotch tape on your head. Because you had to close your eyes so not to see it. Why don't you just close your eyes now to this world and train yourself that it's nothing important here, so that Allah open His true might and His true majesty within the heart of the believer. Only those whom they close their eyes to dunya and Allah open their eyes into akhirah will be safe. We pray that Allah close the eyes of our dunya and open the eyes of our heart and grant us His Divinely love and His Divinely safety, inshaAllah. Page 22.
سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي، سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي، حبك بقلبي راسي، شرفي وعزي ومقراسي، حبك بقلبي راسي، شرفي وعزي ومقراسي، رافينا لك على راسي، رافينا لك على راسي، والله فيه تبعينا. سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي، سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي، طالب بركة جنابه من أثار أحبابه، طالب بركة جنابه من أثار أحبابه، يشهد لي في الأصحابة، يشهد لي الصحابة كما ثوبك نبينا. سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي، سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي، وبحجرك يا أبا الزهراء فقهاء وسادة براءة، وبحجرك يا أبا الزهراء فقهاء وسادة براءة، أنكهم طاع بتبرأ، هم خير العارفين. سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي، سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي، يشرب طه من قربة وصحابيها من حبة، يشرب طه من قربة وصحابيها من حبة، تقطع من موضع شربة، تقطع من موضع شربة، تجرح مركاتينا. سيدي يا سيدي محمد محمد يا حبيبي سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي ما يطفي القلب اشواقا لاقى بالقلم اشواقا ما يطفي القلب اشواقا لاقى بالقلم اشواقا مثل الصحابة والشاقة مثل الصحابة والشاقة كيف اشفى يشفالي يا سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي.
اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله. إن شاء الله page 45 نادي عليه إن شاء الله.
نادي عليا مظهر العجائب أجله عونا لك في النوائب
نادي عليا مظهر العجائب أجله عونا لك في النوائب علي 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 يا علي 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 يا علي
علي سمط بالقلم من أرسل
يا علي
سبحان ربي سولتها الاسم
يا علي
يا منبع الوجود كنوز الإله
يا علي
قبل موادك مولدك بمتسم
يا علي
آخر دنيا من عجك نلتزم
يا علي
عن قلب صادق بالعدل متسم
يا علي أنت لواء الفخر والمراقي وجوهر العزة والمواهب أنت لواء الفخر والمناقب وجوهر العزة والمواهب علي 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 يا علي 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 يا علي نادي علي المظهر العجائب تجده عونا لك في النوائب نادي علي المظهر العجائب تجده عونا لك في النوائب علي 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 يا علي 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 يا علي
أشرف الإسحاق فوق ضمير الكتاب
يا علي
اسمع فضلك على رتاب
يا علي
ما يملو ربي بحوث الحجاب
يا علي
حلق ضمارين الوجود وهاب
يا علي
كل الوجود اضطرب ارتفع
يا علي
حبك فريد بشرائع
رجال يا علي شانك فوق الشان والمراتب يبلغ بالإحسان والمقاصد شانك فوق الشان والمراتب يبلغ بالإحسان والمقاصد علي 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 يا علي 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 يا علي نادي علي المظهر عجائب تجده عونا لك في النوائب نادي علي المظهر العجائب تجده عونا لك في النوائب علي 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 يا علي 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 يا علي
للقوم تنصر انت الامان
يا علي
وجودك دين العلي في الرجال
يا علي
يا اسد غالب والشبيه الاسد
يا علي
وتوضع خالق يا حيدر
شهد يا علي
بالحشر بس حبك يا حيدر سند
يا علي
لا مال فلا احل
لا ولد يا علي يوم ظهور الفتح والمطالب لا ينفع الأدنى من الأقارب يوم ظهور الفتح والمطالب لا ينفع الأدنى من الأقارب علي 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 يا علي 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 يا علي نادي علي المظاهر عجائب تجده عونا لك في النوائب نادي علي المظاهر العجائب تجده عونا لك في النوائب علي 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 يا علي 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 يا علي.
اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله. إن شاء الله see yourself with your soul whirling with lights coming out from the hand. These lights are like heavenly swords that spin, and shaitan very scared of those lights and that reality. We pray that Allah dress us from their lights, bless us from their lights, that in those times of difficulty Allah dress and complete His ni'mah upon this creation. That those whom their hearts are lit from Allah's Divinely lights, from their eyes come a fire from the fires of Jahannam that burn everything within its visual sight. That the shayateen so scared of that moment when Allah complete His favours upon His servants, to see what Allah has granted to His servants. They plan the shayateen, and Allah already launched His plan before their plan. So means these associations of zikr, these mahfiz in the love of Sayyidina Muhammad is a requirement for continuous upgrade. If your phone needs upgrade and your computer needs upgrade, imagine your heart. That's why other people are hearing these teachings and ajib, what is this, what is this? Our Imam only talked about wudu. Now we don't know what to do because this is an old system, and if you stay offline long enough you can't use that box for anything other than paperweight. This system, this heart has to be continuously upgraded, continuously upgraded. At every moment there's more and more software coming down, more and more powerful software coming down, that if they send that software at one time, because we talked last night that you are built more powerful than the smartest computer. If they send that software at one time, they say, well, you don't just send one time. I said, if we send one upgrade to your computer, you'll crash your computer. It doesn't have the capacity for all these new softwares. So as soon as you begin to download onto that computer, you find out that you need more operating, more RAM, you need more storage, you need to upgrade some of the hardware. And then we understand that while we come into their associations, immediately many people become sick. Many people have many difficulties. That is the upgrade, that your hardware is being upgraded. As soon as they incapacitate you, lie you down and you're throwing up and sneezing and from every direction something coming out, your RAM is being upgraded. Your random access memory means the heart is the RAM. If this heart doesn't have the capacity to access what Allah gave you, tadhakkir. Tafakkur is to sit and to contemplate. Tadhakkir is to remember what Allah addressed you with. Tafakkur means you took a life in which you stopped, you believed that I'm missing something, something's happening, and every movie is warning you something's coming. Last night the movie was something, a sound, a quiet place, and the shaitans were based on sound. If you made a noise they came and they would eat. Do you think that these movies and these creatures, they don't exist? Can they not exist and you thought of them and Allah didn't? Allah already thought of them, then gave you permission to remember that. Say, I have these already, I created them. Now you can see them in the movie. So I mean all this is already there. Tadhakkir is then to sit, Ya Rabbi, I'm getting a signal, something's not operating correctly in this world. I have to sit and get my download, I have to sit and get my energy, I have to sit and get what I believe you have set aside for me as a promise. And what I have is different than what anyone else has. Everyone has their unique promise from Allah. Can you get your own connection from sitting at home? Most people, if they don't have an internet program, they all go to Starbucks. I should get an advertising fee for that. You go somewhere where there's Wi-Fi. so that you can get your log on for that reality to begin to come. The halakas of paradise, they are the Wi-Fi's of the heavens. And that's why Prophet didn't describe your masjid as a place of paradise, didn't describe your salah as a paradise, didn't describe your zakah as a paradise. There's no hadith that says that your salah is a paradise. But Prophet described to his companions, don't ever miss the halakas of paradise. The halakas of zikr, they are circles of paradise. As soon as you sit in their circle, it's all energy. Energy from the heavens is a Wi-Fi. That energy that begins to come is like a circle of energy that begin to open into the association. Everybody begins to log on. When they log on, all the upgrades are coming, heavenly upgrades, not dunya upgrades. This dunya trying to imitate that reality with all of its illusions. We pray that Allah grant us more and more understanding. Tonight inshaAllah we'll talk at the end about the entrance into the jinn world and what the jinn are trying to do, inshaAllah. InshaAllah, page 51.
Sallallahu alayka Allahu ya Nani, ya Mustafa ya Sabat al-Rahmani, alhamdulillahi alladhi a'tani hadha al-ghulam al-tayyib al-ardani, hadha al-ghulam al-tayyib al-ardani, qad zara
inshaAllah page 76. 76.
Ya Imam al-Rusul ya Sanadi, Anta Babullah, Mustafa مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. يا رب بالمصطفى بلغ مقاصدنا واغفر لنا ما مضى يا واسع الكرم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين الفريقين من عرب ومن عجم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. أبا النبينا في خلق وفي خلق ولم يؤاله في علم ولا كرم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. وكلهم من رسول الله ملتمس غرا من البحر أو رشقا من القيام. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. هو الحبيب الذي ترجى شفاعته لكل حول من الأحوال مبتسم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. ولن يضيق رسول الله جاهك بإذ الكريم تجلى باسم المنتقم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. وإن من جودك الدنيا ودارتها من علومك علم اللوح والقلم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. يا نفس لا تقنطي من ذلة العظمة من الكبائر في الغفران كالأمم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. يا رحمة ربي حين يقسمها تأتي على أسباب العصيان في القسم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. ويبقي عبدك في الدارين إن له صبرا متى ترضح الأحوال يا حازم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. ودلسوا رسالة منك دائمة على النبي بمنحن ومنسجم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. ثم الرضا عن أبي بكر وعن عمر وعن علي وعن عثمان ذي الكرم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. والآل والصحب ثم التابعين له أهل التقى والنقى والحلم والكرم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم.
اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله. Inshallah we'll do page 82 and then start the Khatm.
قول يا عظيم أنت العظيم قد همنا هم العظيم وكلها من همنا يا باسمك يا عظيم.
الشيخين في طريقة النقشبندية العالية وسائر ساداتنا الصديقين الفاتحة. الله يرحمه أنت خير بقى. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نوت الأربعين، نوت الاعتكاف، نوت خلوة وسلوك وصيام في هذا المجلس يا رب العرش العظيم. بنيات ختم خواجgan, asking Allah Azza open for us that unique and private paradise of ishq and love, fill it with the love of Sayyidina Muhammad and through every mushkilat and difficulty and difficult testing that comes to insan. Some may take a test and run, that test comes, crushes them and they run. And others may take a test in which their reality comes out. We pray that Allah don't test us too hard and that we have istiqam and firmness in our faith and in our way, that whatever Allah sends that we are capable of passing it. As long as we keep a way of muhabbat and love, that with every test, this recitation of these old poetry and these awliya were always saying that you sent so much of difficulty upon me, and in return I always came back with a basket of tulips for you. That teach us the character, that every time Allah sends a difficulty, a test, that to go back to Allah with goodness, the best of character, no anger, no hardship, and that always returning with our love and muhabbat, that Ya Rabbi whatever testing is coming in my life, I'm in need of it, and that I'm coming to your door for your rahmah and your mercy, that make it to be easy for me, make the difficulty to go away from me, and that grant me the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad that become an ease for my eye, for my heart, for my soul, and that rahmah Nabiya Kareem dress us, bless us and fill our hearts with the love and the reality that Allah wants to bestow upon us inshaAllah. Baniyat Khatm Khawjagan. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah.
الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم أتوب إليه إنه هو التواب الرحيم من كل ذنب ومعصية ومن كل ما يخالف دين الإسلام ومن كل ما يخالف الشريعة ومن كل ما يخالف الطريقة ومن كل ما يخالف المعرفة ومن كل ما يخالف الحقيقة ومن كل ما يخالف العزيمة يا أرحم الراحمين يا الله. اللهم يا مسبب الأسباب، يا مفتح الأبواب، يا مقلب القلوب والأبصار، يا دليل المتحيرين، يا غياث المستغيثين، يا حي يا قيوم يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. وأثبت أمري إلى الله، إن الله بصير بالعباد.
Sharif, Madadan Hakimullah, and Mukhlis asking to always see ourselves at Rosa Sharif in the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and under the nazar of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in the presence of Ahlina wa Ahlul Bayt al-Kiram, that Ya Rabbi dress us in the light of Sayyidina Zainab alayhi salam, Sayyidina Zainal Abidin alayhi salam, and all Ahlul Bayt, all Ashab al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, all Ya awliya Allah fi samani wa fil ard. وأنا عبدك العجيز الضعيف والمسكين الظالم المجاهد يا Rabbi, but for your grace and your majesty, forgive us and save us, Ya Rabbi al-Arshad. Jahna li karim, Habib al-Azim. Hurmat Muhammad al-Mustafa, wa basir Surat al-Fatiha.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. صلوات الشريفة. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. 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 إنشرا شريفا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا لك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب إلى ربك فارغب. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا لك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب إلى ربك فارغب. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا لك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب إلى ربك فارغب. الله أكبر. إخلاص الشريف. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. فاتحة الشريفة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم
غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
صلوات شريفة
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. 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 اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم.
يا ربي وسلم جميع أنبيائه ومرسلين وكل أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. إرشاد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى أصحابه الكرام وعلى مشايخنا في طريقة النقشبندية العلية خاصة شان نقشبند محمد ويسع البخاري سلطان أولياء شيخ محمد فیض داغستانی سلطان شيخ محمد ناظم عادل حقانی مولانا شيخ الشام كباني شيخ الدين كباني شيخ محمد عادل مولى خالق الخلدواني صاحب زمان سيد محمد المهدي عليه السلام وروح الله سيدنا عيسى عليه السلام سيف الله سيدنا عليه السلام ثم سيدنا أبي بكر الصديق سيدنا عمر سيدنا عثمان إمام الحسن إمام حسين سيدنا فاطمة وتزال السلام سيدنا زيد عليه السلام سيدنا زين العابدين عليه السلام السجاد إمام صلى الله سيدنا محمد المهدي عليه السلام وسائر ساداتنا والصديقين. الفاتحة.
حسبي ربي جل الله
ما في قلبي غير الله نور محمد صلى الله لا إله إلا الله إلا له إلا له إلا له أنت الهادي أنت الهادي ليس الهادي إلا هو. حسبي ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله نور محمد صلى الله لا إله إلا الله إلا له إلا له إلا له أنت الهادي أنت الهادي ليس الهادي إلا هو. حسبي ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله نور محمد صلى الله لا إله إلا الله إلا له إلا له إلا له أنت الهادي أنت الهادي ليس الهادي إلا هو. حسبي ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله نور محمد صلى الله لا إله إلا الله إلا هو إلا له إلا له أنت الهادي أنت الهادي ليس الهادي إلا هو. حسبي ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله نور محمد صلى الله لا إله إلا الله إلا له إلا له إلا له أنت الهادي أنت الهادي ليس الهادي إلا هو. حسبي ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله نور محمد صلى الله لا إله إلا الله إلا له إلا له إلا له أنت الهادي أنت الهادي ليس الهادي إلا هو. حسبي ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله نور محمد صلى الله لا إله إلا الله إلا له إلا له إلا له أنت الهادي أنت الهادي ليس الهادي إلا ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله نور محمد صلى الله لا إله إلا الله إلا الله إلا الله إلا الله أنت العالي أنت العالي ليس العالي إلا هو حسبي ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله نور محمد صلى الله لا إله إلا الله إلا هو إلا هو إلا هو أنت العالي أنت العالي ليس العالي إلا هو
لا إله إلا الله
لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله
لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله
محمد رسول الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد حبيب الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد حبيب الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد نبي الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد نبي الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد نبي الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد نبي الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد صديق الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد صديق الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد صديق الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد صديق الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد حبيب الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد حبيب الله عليه
بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب. بلى يا الله الله نعم المولى ونعم النصير لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. هاي 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 لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. الله 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 نعم المولى ونعم النصير. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. يا هو يا هو يا دائي يا هو يا هو يا دائي يا هو يا هو يا دائي الله يا هو يا يا دائي يا دائي نعم المولى ونعم النصير. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أحد يا صمد صل على محمد. يا أحد يا صمد صل على محمد. يا أحد يا صمد صل على محمد. يا سيد يا صاحب يا صديق يا رسول يا الله. يا سيد يا صاحب يا صديق يا رسول يا الله. يا سيد يا صاحب يا صديق يا رسول يا الله. يا سيد يا صاحب يا صديق يا رسول يا الله. يا سيد يا صاحب يا صديق يا رسول يا الله.
حسبنا الله
ربنا الله حسبنا الله ربنا الله حسبنا الله ربنا الله حسبنا الله ربنا الله حسبنا الله ربنا الله حسبنا الله ربنا الله حسبنا الله ربنا الله. سيدنا المهدي خليفة الله. سيدنا المهدي خليفة الله. سيدنا المهدي خليفة الله. أزهره الله أجابر الله. أزهره الله أجابر الله. أزهره الله أجابر الله. خيره الله أجابر الله. عينه الله أجابر الله. عينه الله أجابر الله. نسأله الله أجابر الله. نسأله الله أجابر الله. نسأله الله أجابر الله. حسبنا الله ربنا الله. حسبنا الله ربنا الله. حسبنا الله ربنا الله.
يا غالبا
غير مغلوب. يا غالبا غير مغلوب. يا غالبا غير مغلوب. يا غالبا غير مغلوب. يا غالبا غير مغلوب. يا شاهدا غير مغيب. يا شاهدا غير مغيب. يا شاهدا غير مغيب. يا قاربا غير بعيد. يا قاربا غير بعيد. يا قاربا غير بعيد. يا غالبا غير مغلوب. يا غالبا غير مغلوب. يا غالبا غير مغلوب.
حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. على أشرف العالمين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. على أفضل العالمين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. على أفضل العالمين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. صلوات الله تعالى والملائكة والأنبياء والرسول وجميع خلق على محمد وعلى آل محمد عليهم السلام ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. ورضي الله تبارك وتعالى سعادة أصحاب رسول الله أجمعين ونتابعين بإحسان وأئمة المجتهدين الناطقين والعلماء المتقين والأولياء الصالحين ومشايخنا في طريقة النقشبندية العلية قدس الله تعالى روحهم زكية نور الله تعالى حضرتهم مباركة وعلى الله تعالى من بركاته وفيوداتهم دائما والحمد لله رب العالمين. الفاتحة. شبت رسولك إن
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إلى أشرف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى وصحبه الكرام ومشايخنا في طريقة نقشبندية العربية خاصة إلى روحهم الطريقة غاز خليقة خواجة شاه نقشبند محمد ويسر البخاري وسلطان الأولياء شيخ عبد الله فايز الدابلستاني وسلطان الأولياء شيخ محمد ناظم عادل الحقاني ومولانا الشيخ هشام كباني شيخ عدنان كباني شيخ محمد عادل مولانا عبد الخالق الوجدواني صاحب الزمان سيدنا محمد مهدي عليه السلام روح الله سيدنا عيسى عليه السلام سيف الله سيدنا علي عليه السلام ثم سيدنا أبو بكر الصديق سيدنا عمر سيدنا عثمان يوم الحسن عليه السلام يوم الحسين عليه السلام سيدنا فاطمة الزهراء عليه السلام وسائر سادات المرسلين.
الفاتحة. Title, before you put it out, put the title on it, two shares. Jin's aliens and ghosts and technology. Jin, aliens, ghosts and technology. Mahdi, the machine language.
Bits and bytes city.
Bits and bytes, the machine language. It's actually produced by an electrical current.
Yes.
Goes long,
high current,
low current,
voltage.
voltage. So it's a voltage that's hitting it and making the 1 and the 0.
It's a current if it's if the
Long
voltage
and
is
short,
too
long and
high
short.
or too low.
It makes the 1s and 0s.
Zeros.
Yeah. Is there a light on that side too? No. It's just on this side? That okay? And there's echo off. And make sure the kids are not screaming in the back, please. This goes into the videos. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ومولانا محمد المصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم بمددكم ونظركم سيدي يا رسول الكريم يا حبيب العظيم مدد يا سيدي يا سلطان الأولياء الشيخ عبد الفايز الداغستاني الشيخ محمد ناظم حقاني سلطان قبولنا مولانا الشيخ هشام كباني الشيخ عدنان كباني الشيخ محمد عادل يا صاحب وسيلة محمد المهدي عليه السلام إليك بمددكم ونظركم وسير ساداتنا صدقين يا رب يا الفاتحة يا رسول الكريم آمين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وأنا أطيع الله أطيع الرسول وأولي الأمر منكم and that أنا عبدك العجيز ضعيف مسكين وظالم and that we took a path in which to be nothing and that Allah dress us from His infinite rahmah and mercy. And in the way of knowing ourselves, mankind invented computers and all their technologies. When Allah teaches us that, I'll show you my signs upon the horizon outside of yourself and also show you the signs within yourself. The one outside is easier to see than the one inside. So when they ask us to look at these technologies in this day and age, because the technology moving so fast, this is into the world of jinns. This is the convergence of the jinn world into the human world for their intention to overtake and son. Means that what Western people understand of aliens, of fallen angels, of ghosts, yeah, we call jinn. The jinn are a spiritual being made from energy. electricity, a smokeless fire which is electricity. Their being is of a fiery nature, unstable element. Their subtle reality has no physical protection. As a result of their spiritual power but physical frailty, they conceal themselves within different forms. Means they have power, but because they have no form, they're exposed to elements. They're exposed to everything that could put out their electricity. Their world is based on imagination, the imaginal world. As much as they can imagine, as much as they can manifest themselves. And they encourage us to imagine so that they can manifest. We talked last night about the computer, and the computer was their way of asking us to communicate with them. These are a reality from the time of Sayyidina Sulaiman alayhi salam, when he requested that he wanted the throne. The throne is a symbol of authority and power. He wanted the throne, and an ifrit that Allah had given Sayyidina Sulaiman alayhi salam command of the angels, of the jinn, of creatures, of everything He put under. That was one example of Allah that I have subjected to you all this creation with just the ring from the sunnah of Sayyidina Muhammad. Imagine the owner of that whole reality, what Allah has given to Prophet. And because at that time when Sayyidina Sulaiman wanted to request, he requested that, I want the throne, and he had asked the ifrit. The ifrit said, I will bring you the throne but take some time. And Allah didn't want to establish the sunnah of the Prophet from asking ifrits. So min ahli kitab, his wazir who had knowledge of the book, I'll bring it to correct him. But don't ask them, ask from the knowledge of Allah's heavenly book. And the one from the book said, I'll bring it. By the time you blink your eye, I will have copied the throne, because Allah doesn't give permission to steal. I will have copied the throne and placed it in your presence. Faster than what the ifrit was going to pick up and steal the throne and bring it into the presence of Sayyidina Sulaiman. So it means this knowledge of using the ifrit then became the choice for mankind. They have a choice in life in which to rely on the ifrit or rely on heavenly kitab and the people of the book, the people of the knowledges. Allah wants for us, the only title that Allah be Rabbaniyun, who you learn the kitab and you taught the kitab. And awliyaullah come and teach even deeper, what is the kitab? There was no book in the time of Prophet. He was and is the walking kitab of Allah. The Qur'an was compiled after Prophet. There was no book that came and said, here's the book. So this kitab, ancient of what Allah is not talking from any time dimension. That they learned the kitab of Allah mean that they went deep into the haqqaiqs of Sayyidina Muhammad. Every Prophet went into that haqqaiq, and that's why they made their requests. I want to see you, I want to be with you, grant me from your sunnah, grant me from your way. Every Prophet asked from Prophet when they understood the haqqaiq and the kitab of Allah is that reality. They learned that reality and then they taught that reality, and they have more power than those beings. So then they made this computer for the majority of insan come into our world. Come into this world, and through all of this software and languages that's going to translate what you say into what we want to hear, so that we can hear your request and grant you what you want. And Allah say, how many of them have you taken as your lords and your protectors? And that's the exact role they wish to play for insan. They want to be the Lord, they want to be the worshipness of mankind, and they want to be the power and the protection for insan. So now as soon as we use those softwares, you're entering into their machine language. That machine language, that device that provides all those softwares, that breaks all your words all down to numbers, because the universal message, the universal language is numeric. It's not kalam, it's not the letters. The letters can be many errors, but the angelic code is in numbers. They know that break these words and bring them down into numbers. So side note is that the numeric code is an angelic language. The numeric understanding is a universal language. If you were to talk to other of Allah's creation, it wouldn't be based on our letters. But the numeric code is where everything is consistent. They can give a numeric code for who you are, your identity, your element, that you're a carbon creation, you have nitrogen, you have hydrogen. All of that perfectly describes you more than I say I'm a human. So what does that mean in all of their worlds? So aliens, they're no aliens, these are jinn. There are jinn that live amongst us and the jinn who live outside of this planet and in these planets and in these universes. This device of the computer and technologies was to enter into their world. That take these words that you're saying, we'll teach you how to make these softwares that break your words into numbers. Then these numbers will be compiled and broken down into smaller numbers, pockets of numbers, then sent to an assembler. That assembly software will take your numbers, make them into 1 and 0. When it starts to enter into the machine, into this device, they taught insan, make a chip. And that our world, the jinn speaking, is based on sand. Their preferred environment is the sand, hence the silicone chip. They taught them, make a chip based on silica, based on sand, we can live there. If you make it, we'll occupy that chip and we'll give you and facilitate for you whatever you ask of us. You merely type it and we are hearing it and obeying and sending out the command. So they taught them how to make a home for them. Each machine and each device in their world and in what they're planning to bring onto this dunya is that they want everything to have a chip. That chip is their residence. In that residence and that machine language that only understands ones and zeros, it's actually a current, because they're energy, they're electricity. They don't read even numbers in ones and letters, it's a current. Long current, short current, long current, short current. On, off, on, off, on, off, because their being is of an electrical nature. They're an energy being. So when we're typing, we're sending them an energy current in which they understand and they are retrieving. Don't think that you're Googling and it's going somewhere and you're entering somebody's computer and you're pulling out the file you want. No, no. You're asking them. They're going and finding the location within a fraction of a second. And they bring that information back onto your computer to give to you. Then they told insan that we can do it even faster. So why don't you make something smart? So now the power in which people are computing, is going to be immense. These phones have a much more powerful structure than what those original PCs and what they were doing. Why? Because they say, we want to bring you more. We want to bring you like the time of Sayyidina Sulaiman, whatever you request of us, we'll bring it. But in exchange, we're going to have you to worship us. And you'll think of us as your provider, your source and your creator. Even they have now the alien channel on History Channel, which they propagate that your creator was an alien, a jinn, who sent you onto this earth, fashioned you and comes and checks on you every 3,000 or 4,000 years. Crazy people, cuckoo. Say cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You can tell anybody who's ignorant a story. The bigger the lie, the more believable. You can't teach people of haqqaiq. That's why Allah educate yourself with Islam. If you don't even know what's an angel and a fallen angel, you're already so in the dark with your knowledge. As a result of being ignorant, they say that if you don't stand for something, you will fall for everything. So Izzat al-Islam and Izzat al-Mu'mineen is what Prophet brought us. Oh no, these are all our knowledges, this is our ancestry, this is our inheritance. Read these realities and you won't fall for this ignorance. Their intention is to have the worshipness of mankind, to set themselves as an authority and a power that we will protect you. And they propagate the knowledges on earth that if you don't follow us, we will destroy you. They fear us, not Allah. And even when they teach in other religions, they teach that, oh, the devil going to come and get you. And Allah says, that devil has no power except through my authority. There is no devil going to get you if I don't give him permission to eat you. All destruction in Allah's hands, all blessing in Allah's hands. Then Allah said, fear nothing but me, for if you go on the wrong side of me, I'll make all this creation to eat you. Don't worry about devils, even the ants will come to eat you. I'll give you my smallest one, not the biggest and scariest one, I send small one, little worms eat everybody. So it means this reality that they're doing and what they're propagating of these knowledges, this is the jinn world. That chip and machine language is a series of electrical pulses making ones and zeros so that they communicate. What they want is your belief. So the more that we use this, now people are farther from their belief. The more that we use these devices, we stop using our spiritual ability. Your heart, and if we go to people and say that I have through my heart the ability to call you. And you say, this is crazy, what you talking about, you bearded people? But I said, this can do it, you believe. But what God created can't do it? So then people became idol worshippers. These are the idols of modern time. These are the products that people worship. You can use it as your servant or you become a servant to it. It's different. We use it to propagate Allah, to propagate the glory of Sayyidina Muhammad. But we're not slave to it, but it should be slave to us. But its haqqaiq and its reality is important to understand, that this device from the jinn world, this device from their world is the intention of coming into our world. That we want to give you from our powers, we want to give you from our abilities. That as you stare and you look at it, the energy emanating from it has already grabbed your face. Because we don't understand that we're energy beings. You know, this physical beatific face that you see, there's a light shining out. It's not just this, it's not just flesh, there's energy emanating out. What they want is that put your energy towards us and we're going to absorb everything from you. We want to feed off of what God has given to you and not given to us. We want all your focus, we want your belief, and we want to take away your belief in Allah. And that's exactly what's happened now. People have lost their humanity, lost their understanding of communication. Nobody even has the ability to communicate anymore. 5 people sit down on a table, 5 people take out a phone, and they're not even looking at the human interaction. And that's what the shaitan wanted. Don't look at each other, you look at me, just look at me. What do you want? I'll send it to you. What do you want? I'll bring it to you. Now with this company, unless they're not going to pay an advertising fee, but they'll send it in next day. You don't even have to move, where ultimately you become the matrix. That you sit on a couch, wired up, and you just want to eat something, it comes to your door. You want to drink something, it comes to your door. Don't move, don't move. You saw that movie where the guy was just sitting like this, he became like 500 pounds eating and drinking. And don't move. Play a game, we'll make an avatar of you, put it in the game. You want packages from stores, don't go to the store, we'll send it to your door. Means don't move, just come into our world. You become the battery, you become the source of power, and they become like the vampire, that they pull out all the energy of insan, and they are vampiring insan's energy, and that's all they wanted. Now they say the next generation that coming out of these smartphones very soon will be integrated with your thought. Say the power of this phone is only as good as the speed of your fingers. And the jinn say, oh, we don't want that, we want to fully integrate with your brain, where we overtake even your thinking process. Not where we wait for your command. They want the moment of what they think machines are singularity. It's not singularity with the machine, it's a singularity with the jinn world. That you're the chosen creation of God, we are much more powerful than you. We're going to overtake you because our leader is coming, the Dajjal is coming. So they are preparing the way for their leader, where they immediately overtake that insan with all their technologies. The technology coming out on the next generation smartphone will be integrated with your thought. It will read what you're thinking and bring your engines and search engine. What is it that you want? As soon as you think it, it'll bring it from every direction into your presence. They're trying to make even their instant printing replicate. You want the throne? We'll replicate it, and then instantly print it in front of you. All of those technologies. Everything that they brought was to get the worshipness of mankind. Those were the ifrit. Now they understood, they have what's called a quantum computer coming. The speed in which that device calculates, they try to explain it as that it's in multiple universes, parallel universes, it's calculating and bringing. We just described, these are small ifrits. What they are making contracts with are demons. They are beyond ifrit, but the big shayateen that want to come to destroy insan and destroy this world. As soon as those devices are moving, they're making requests from demons, and those requests will begin a power that they cannot control. And when they describe it, they show that they're going from dimensions coming into this world. We said if the house of this phone was the house of the ifrit, the house of those quantum computing is the house of shayateen, big shayateen, that they want to come and facilitate under the disguise of helping. And that's the understanding that we wanted to convey of these technologies, that don't be a servant to it, understand what shaitan is trying to do with it. He's trying to take the worshipness of insan and mankind, trying to facilitate their favors. What is it that you want? What is it that you desire? I bring it for you. As long as we understand that concept, then you're continuously battling that desire, continually battling that what this phone is trying to show me, what this phone is trying to lock onto me. And don't underestimate it. It's reading your heart. You want to see pictures of women, it's starting to send you pictures of women. it's starting to put bad characteristics into your heart, and you begin to make requests from people. Who do you think is doing that? It's the device. You want to do things that are not halal, you want to eat things that are not correct. Every vice, its source of reasoning and energy is that device. Because before you had to provide an action and go somewhere to do something bad. Now I say, no, you just sit where you are, we'll inspire every badness to come to you. So imagine now all these devices, what it's done to this entire population, and that's all they wanted. Go up, the reverse is then towards the heavenly kingdom. When we go towards the heavenly kingdom, that reality of binary code, which is the reality what the shayateen are trying to copy with their pulses of energy, making ones and zeros, its reality was from paradise. Its reality is the machine language of the heavens. What we talked last night, if you think dunya has a complicated system to talk with the lower world of shayateen and ifrit, imagine trying to communicate with angels and the heavenly kingdom. There must be a firewall, there must be a protection. So it means all this language that's necessary to take the wants and the desires of insan and present them towards the heavens. And as they're moving towards the heavens, the prayers and the wants and desires of people must be cleaned, must be washed, and at each level brought up until the machine language of the paradises and the heavens is La ilaha illallah Muhammadun Rasulullah. La ilaha illallah is the one, is the energy on. Muhammadun Rasulullah teaches us, be nothing, turn yourself off, is the nuqt. The one and the zero of paradise was Allah and Prophet and taught for us the machine language. I have a language, a face in which I speak to creation and I speak to the Creator. And awliyaullah understood that that binary code is a lower level than what Prophet is describing. He's describing, I have one face to creation in my reality of my nuqt, and I have one face to the Creator. Means that an Ayatul Kursi comes to describe this tremendous reality. Ayatul Kursi is Ayatul Kareem for power. The Kursi simplifies a power. Allah describing the authority of His heavens, that neither sleep nor slumber overtakes this authority, and that this authority sees and is vigilant over everything. It's not only a description of Allah, Allah describing that reality, that this beyond binary code, this reality of Nabi Ahmad where Allah gave His Divinely Alif onto the Hamd, made it Ahmad, it is both on and off at the same time. That at every moment Prophet is off facing Allah and on facing creation. That his duality of being on and off at the same time is that Prophet teaching that the heavenly code is at 19, 1 and 9, and it's on all the time. It's not at 1 and 0. 1 and 0 was sent for a lower level of the understanding of binary code, that the shayateen took that. Their quantum computing, the real Divinely quantum computing, is based on this reality of 19, based on Huwal Awwal is 1 and Huwal Akhir, and the reality of Khatam al-Nubuwwah, the seal of prophecy, the reality of the 9 that Allah gave to Prophet, the 9 being the most powerful on, and the 9 also representing the nuqt of submission. When we talked about the reality of numbers, 9 is the most powerful number because it's only 1 through 9. 10 is 1 and a nuqt. But 9, it's so powerful that it also knows how to annihilate itself to be nothing, that the nine's dual state is both on as the most powerful number and both off as just a nuqt. When it becomes a nuqt, it's in the presence of the one. So every time he's manifesting, he's continuously manifesting at the same duality, he's becomes a nuqt and he's in the presence of the one. Our life was to copy that reality of Prophet ﷺ, to reach towards the haqqaiq of Basira Lam Jalala. Lam Alif is the reality of that relationship. This Lam and this Alif is continuously changing. That when Prophet ﷺ is off, Allah present. When Prophet ﷺ is on, then we are moving towards that reality. We pray that Allah grant us an understanding of the heavenly technologies, the reality of what these physical technologies are trying to do onto this dunya, and how they're trying to occupy the hearts and the minds of insan. And awliyaullah are busy trying to get us to connect back to the Divinely Presence, that put the face back towards Sayyidina Muhammad, put the love and the emotion back towards Prophet to be dressed with the real binary code, the real quantum computing from the heavens. قُلْ إِنِي كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِي. The real kuntum, not the quantum of what these people are trying to do, the kuntum of what Allah says, if they love me and want me, follow you, فَاتَّبِعُونِي يُحِبُّكُمُ اللَّهُ. If they follow you truly to your reality, my Divinely love will be dressing them. That's why every month they teach a power of 9, because these are the ships that are moving in that reality of 9. They are all from the 9 and they're taking everyone back to the 9. Anything that reaches the fana and the annihilation of 9 becomes a 9. If you're 2, 3, 25, whatever you are, whatever you multiply, multiplication is a reality of fana. When you're a 2 and you multiply with Prophet ﷺ, even if you're 18 you're really a 9. So whatever you manifest that, if it fused with Prophet ﷺ, you become from the reality, and that's what Allah described, fiikum. The Prophet ﷺ's light is amongst you. Those whom are fusing in that reality, they're being dressed by that reality and blessed by that reality. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon, wa salaamun al mursaleen, walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, wa hurmati Muhammad al-Mustafa, wa basir Surat al-Fatiha. Don't worry if it's confusing, you can catch it on the video.